Got you here with another one. All right, so this video right here is some quick fixes, some quick tips on Serato DJ Pro. All right, so right now Serato DJ Pro is at 2.62. All right, so a lot of us might have the older versions, the 2.5 and so forth backwards. But if you're thinking about upgrading, you got to know what you're doing. All right, I'll repeat. If it's not broke, do not fix it. All right. And you have to read these things about the new updates. They're not for everyone, all right? Most of these updates are for new hardware and so forth. So you have to make sure your system is compatible because the more updates Serato releases, they'll be kind of diminishing the older hardware and stuff, all right? So if you do an update, it might knock out your older equipment. So if you have like a DDJ SX or so, you might do a 2.6.2 update and your hardware might no longer work. All right, so you got to be careful when you're doing these updates. All right, so here's the system requirements. All right, so at least 4 gig of memory. You need an i3, i5, i7, so forth. All right, and you can do Windows 10 or Windows 11. All right, and basically 32-bit operating system. All right, that's the minimum. All right, so the way to check your system specs to make sure that you're compatible with doing these updates, you go to your system settings. I'm going to show you here. I'm getting some glare from this window. Let me close this window. All right, so what we do is we go to our system, go right here, and we go to about, and what will happen is you will get your system specs right here. All right, so this is telling you what your system is running. So if you can see that clearly, I have 2.3 gigahertz i7, 16 gigabyte of RAM. All right, so I am good. All right, because the minimum requirement is 4 gigabyte of memory. But if you have 4 gigabyte of memory, I don't think the update is for you. All right, because your system will be lagging. Um, your memory just won't be enough. So you will play for like an hour or two, and all of a sudden your jog wheels and everything will just get slow, and you won't be able to keep up. All right, your system will just freeze up on you. So if you're having freezing problems, this is what this video is about. I'm going to help you out, you know, because someone had reached out to me and they said they're having problems. The system got slow after doing an update, so I figured I would do this to kind of help out. So first things first, actually, what I'm going to try to do is put some light on in here so I don't get that glare. All right, so let me put this here for a sec. Turn some light on. Try to fix this glare I'm having. All right, I figure I'll go live because you know it's less work to do with updating and so forth. So let's see if this helps. No, the glare is still there, but it's all right. We're gonna work with it. All right. So, like I was saying, if you have an older system, like a Windows computer with not that much memory, I'm gonna show you how to take care of that with the Serato. All right. So what you do is you open your Serato. Okay. You go to your settings, which is over here. A little star right there. Click on that. This will come up right here. Okay. So it's going to be here when you first open it. So what you need to do is go to audio. All right. Once you go to audio, you will see your user buffer size. What you need to do is slide this forward. All right. To actually, what it would do is let your software use less memory. All right, so I'm using 16 gig, so I can be right here. But if you're using less than that, 4 gig or whatever, you want to kind of like move this left or right and see how it works out for you. All right, so I think the lower you go, the tighter it's going to be with your latency. So like if you're scratching and you find out that when your hand moves, the wheel is not responding, this is what you do. You come here and you move this down and see how that works for you and hit apply. All right. So that is one tip right there to kind of fix your RAM issues. If you don't have enough RAM, you can do that. All right. So that will definitely help. All right. So upon that, here's another tip here I wanted to let you see. Okay, so when you go to display, sometimes your audio might drop out or whatever the case may be. Okay, that's because your frame rate is too high, right? So what you want to do is you want to adjust this accordingly. All right, so you can mess around with this also to kind of fix those issues. All right, I mean there's nothing wrong. Just remember where it was, and you can adjust this accordingly. All right, and these will sometimes fix your problem with audio dropouts and so forth, or if your system is freezing up, it's because your resolution is too high. All right, and your computer can't handle it. All right, so let me come back out of here, and here's another third tip. What you want to do is unplug your controller or turn your controller off, and you want to analyze your files. What you do is you click on your folder, hold the mouse, and you drag it up here to analyze. All right, and analyze your files. Oh, hold on, before I do that, let me show you something here. Okay, so if you look closely at that green dot right there, right, that is your memory that the software is using from your computer. A lot of people don't know what that is. All right, so when you are mixing or doing anything and you find that your green bar is like way over here or turning red, that means you do not have enough memory, all right? Or your memory is maxed out. So basically your computer is putting out as much as it possibly can to complete the action, all right? So what you want to do is back off if you're using samplers or echo effects, whatever. You know, if you're using like more than 2 decks or just scratching crazily where the computer can't keep up, your memory will jump like pretty much 3/4 ways or more. But if you have enough memory as I do, 16 gig or even 32 gig is even better, your light should pretty much be, you know, maybe 1, 2, 3 dots when you're playing, all right? So I'm going to show you that in a second. The only time your light should be like red or whatever is like when you're analyzing files. I'll show you that right now. So what you do is you grab a folder, and this is for the new folks, all right? The old folks, I'm pretty sure you guys kind of already know how to analyze files and everything, but this is what you want to do before you first start playing, is analyze your folders. What analyzing your files do is pretty much lets the software know the BPM, you get your length of the song and so forth, all right? And it also gives you, what else does it give you? It gives something else, but all right, we'll just move on from here, all right? Let's analyze, and I'll show you how the memory works. Let's go right here and drop it into analyze, and all of a sudden you see it starts analyzing these files. So if a file is corrupt, it will turn red. That means you can't play that song. That means it's corrupted. If it's yellow, that means it's a little questionable, maybe distorted or so forth, or the files is corrupted in some way. So as you can see here, it's analyzing the files, and I will show you the memory has now peaked out because it's doing so much at once. Alright, so as it's finished analyzing those files, you see the memory bar starts going down. Right, so that means your computer's not working as hard anymore. Alright, but 9 times out of 10, when your computer is about to freeze or lock up, that bar will be pretty much extended out all the way here. Alright, so let me go ahead and turn on controller. Alright, so as soon as that loads up, okay, so I have this here. Let me find the track. Okay, see my memory is still at 1. Let me find the YouTube safe song. It's good to keep all of your tracks on one hard drive, so that way your software is not working as hard and your memory is not working as hard to try to search for songs on 2 different devices. So either keep everything on the laptop or everything on an external hard drive. You can have a backup on the internal, or use your external as a backup, but try to keep everything in one place. It makes loading the track a whole lot faster. And if it takes a while for your tracks to load, you can also go to that settings and adjust your latency, as I said before. Alright, so as you can see how fast my tracks will load. When I hit that button, they come up right away. That's the way you want it. Alright, if you don't have enough memory, it will be a slow process. You know, it will be like kind of loading. So that's how you know you have an issue. Alright, and if you have a very low memory, sometimes when these wheels are spinning, they will freeze, lock up on you. It will be like that, but your bar will still be, your audio files will still be going, but your bar will be stopped like that. That's when you know you have a big issue, and most likely your memory is peaked out. Alright, but that's the way you want it. Let me select another one and I'll put one to the right. And we'll play them at the same time. Okay. You see your memory is still kind of thing, but the more you start doing things, it sometimes cause your memory to go up. So if you're using 4 gigs or 8 gigs, your memory will be probably halfway. So that's the benefit of having 16 gig and up, alright, versus 4 or 8. Your memory will get used up much faster. So you might say you have 8 gig and you don't have a problem like doing a few hours. It usually take at least 4 hours. If you notice, sometimes like you're at home playing and then you go out to a show or do a party or something like that, and after 3-4 hours your wheel starts locking up on you. You know, all of a sudden, you know, you start getting the freezes and all that. That's because your memory is getting full. So I'll tell you another tip on how to fix that. If you don't have enough memory, if you're using 4 or 8 gig, and you find that after a couple of hours, your wheel starts to slow down, starts to, you know, get choppy, whatever your audio gets choppy, that's because your memory is filling up. So what you do is, if you can get a break, 10-minute break between you know, sessions or whatever someone else is playing, or if you know, like a dinner break or something like that, anything that gives you time in between for you to restart your computer, you can do that. You can go ahead and X out of your software, X out of Serato, close it out completely, restart your computer, wait about 5 minutes, and then turn it back on, and your memory will be restarted. Alright, so that kind of basically just clears all the memory from Serato and everything like that, so you know your RAM gets freed up. Alright, but if you continue to play for over 4 hours, I can guarantee you, if you're using 4 gig or 8 gig, your wheel will slow down. Alright, and I've heard on PCs to where you get that lockout to to where it kind of burns out your memory. I'm not sure if that's true, but what it does cause is for your memory to get really hot. All right, so it can also damage, you know, your memory also. All right, so what you want to do is take breaks. All right, if you don't have 16 or up, take breaks in between sets and restart your computer. All right, so that will clear up your RAM, and then you'll be good again for another 2 or 3 hours. All right, so that's a little tip there. But otherwise, from that, you don't really have to get another computer, but you just can't keep on doing these updates that Serato releasing, because 9 times out of 10 they do not pertain to you, but people just enjoy doing updates anyway. As soon as they see a new one, they want to go ahead and do it, and they know good and well that they're using older hardware. You know, like if you're using a DDJ SX SZ or whatever, most of these updates do not pertain to you. So if you go ahead and continue doing updates, what will actually happen is it will start to overwrite all of that old hardware stuff. So it can cause problems to where your hardware won't work anymore. All right, and then you'll have to revert back to you know, lesser update, or just buy a whole new software, whatever, just to start over. All right, because you're losing support for your hardware every time you go ahead and do updates. Now, there's nothing wrong with getting all the latest features, like you know, we want like title and so forth. You know, you get like beat source is cool, beat source is cool. You know, title, all that stuff. All that is fine, but you don't want to keep on doing updates, all right? Unless you're going to keep on upgrading your hardware as well. Now, if you're the type of person that buys a new laptop every 4 years, or a new controller every 3 years or so forth, then yeah, by all means, you can update as much as you want. But if you're stuck using an older machine and an older controller, updating every few months when Serato releases something doesn't pertain to you. All right, so if it works, just leave it as is. All right, if it's not broke, don't fix it, because 9 times out of 10 these updates do not pertain to you. All right, so that was a quick tip. DJ Show One King Legend, and I'm gonna let you go on that note. All right, catch me on the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Doesn't take anything to like the videos. Just hit that like button. I mean, if you find these tips helpful and you want to contribute, there's also you know, a little payment type situation, but I don't ask for anything. So just go ahead and like the videos, share them, share the knowledge, and I appreciate it. Catch you on the next one. All right, DJ Show One King Legend, I'm out.